The indigenous peoples of North America. The indigenous peoples of North America have a rich and diverse history that spans thousands of years. Before European contact, the continent was inhabited by various indigenous groups, each with their own distinct cultures, languages, and ways of life. Here's an overview of their history. Pre-Columbian era. Before Christopher Columbus came to America in 1492, the native people who lived there had come from Asia using a land bridge during the time of Big Eyes. They made different types of societies, like groups that hunted and gathered food, and more advanced groups that farmed. Some well-known groups were the ancestral Puebloans in the southwestern United States, the Mississippian cultures in the southeast, and the Iroquois Confederacy in the northeastern forests. European contact. Around the late 15th century, a man named Christopher Columbus came to America from Europe. This was the start of Europeans coming to explore and take over the land. These meetings greatly affected the native people who were already there. New sicknesses like smallpox made lots of them very sick and many even died, which caused their population to go down a lot. Colonial period, 16th to 18th centuries. Peoples from Europe started to make their own towns in North America, which caused problems between the people who were already living there and the new Europeans. Many of the indigenous peoples were made to leave the places where their families had lived for a long time, and some were hurt and treated badly. They also used four-farm animals to make money, which changed how the native peoples used to live. American Revolution and Expansion, late 18th-19th century. When the United States had a big fight for freedom and later moved to more land in the West, it really hurt the native people. In 1830, there was a law called the Indian Removal Act that made many groups like the Cherokee leave their home forcefully. They had to travel a long way on the Trail of Tears, and this made them lose their homes and their ways of life. Reservations and assimilation policies, 19th century. The American government made special places called reservations for native people to live, but these places were not very good. They tried to make native people act like the new settlers and forget their own cultures and languages. They even sent native kids to special schools that tried to change them, and this made a lot of sadness and took away their cultures. 20th century and beyond. In the 1900s and after, native people started to speak up more. Around the middle of the 1900s, a group called the American Indian Movement, or AIM, started fighting for fair treatment, land rights, and keep their cultures. They also went to court for their rights, like the Cherokee Nation case and Sioux Nation case. These court battles made more people understand that native groups have the right to their own land and to make their own decisions. Recognition and reclamation, late 20th century to present. In recent times, from the late 1900s until now, there have been more and more attempts to help native cultures. People are working to bring back and keep safe their languages, traditions, and art. and 2007, many countries around the world, including the United Nations, agreed that the native people should have rights to their lands, cultures, and the ability to make choices for themselves.